Hey guys, welcome back to Kuma Style. We're taking a look at Mastermind Creations, their reformatted line R-33 Collisus. Considering we just looked at R-42 and R-42C ZDEF or DZEF, this one's a bit older. I think this released in like 2018. The instructions here are on the comic side, so might want to go there. And yes, it does include comic. It's really cool that they've had their own ongoing fiction for years and years now. But anyway, this is their tribute to IDW's Thunderclash. Thunderclash has been in different IDW series. This is his older one. I think this one was like 2005, 2006, somewhere in there. So he was like the ultimate Autobot hero. Really cool. I really like his interactions with Hot Rod at the time, or Rodimus, because Rodimus did have his part of the Matrix and stuff like that too. But really good stuff there. Again, I love their relationship in particular. But Thunderclash comes with, of course, the figure itself. These go on the back of these for its vehicle mode. So two kind of, I guess, buffs to the blasters here, which attach to his forearms, and then two shields as well, which attach to his forearms in this mode, and then another part of them in vehicle mode. So the only parts forming are the accessories and stuff like that, and he has full storage in both modes, of course. Instructions, card, and let's go ahead and get to reviewing this thing. All right, so taking a look at Mr. Collisus. Height-wise, I've got him at about 7 3/4 inches tall. Good Voyager size for leader figures. Give you guys a roundabout. Now, aesthetically, I love this figure. I'm not the biggest fan of the backpack, though. It doesn't take away from his articulation or anything like that, but, I mean, it's just unsightly, and it sticks out quite a bit from him, as well as those wheels and things like that. So, yeah, unfortunately, it is what it is. There's nothing you can really do about it. I'm sure you can maybe unpin it or mod it so that this clips off and stuff like that. But, yeah, especially for a figure that's not that hard to find. Maybe if I had a second. I'm not personally that comfortable just modding it and stuff. So, I'm just going to leave it as is for the time being. But, yeah. Alright, again, that backpack. Let's get that out of the way as soon as possible. Alright, cool. And going over the articulation here, head is on a ball joint, so you got some side-to-side tilt there as well. And then up and down movement. Now the head itself, it is on a hinge of its own, but then it has the additional ball joint, so you can use that for a lot of downward or a lot of upward. Okay? Shoulders. Now they don't do a 360, but they go quite a bit back and forth. These move back and forth, the shoulders, the pauldrons or whatever on there. Okay, shoulder pads. Alright, that was parallel. 360 bicep swivel. Double jointed elbows, but there we go. Alright, so you just have to move the bottom one first. Boom. Now these are on a ball joint, so you do get rock always, as well as swivel. And the 4 fingers are on one hinge there. They all move together. Now, he doesn't come with a weapon that he can hold. We'll go over his weapons here in a second. But, yeah, what I think the Planet Steel Express exclusive was an orange-ish blaster, like kind of the color of knee pads, fronts of the shoulders and things like that. It looked like the one that comes with Thunder Promenade, which is their Machine Wars Optimus version of this mold. So, if you guys want to look into that, if you're hunting for one, maybe you'll go for that one in particular. I do wish that I had the gun. It'd be nice. Alright, so knees. Double jointed, but because of the wheels and stuff like that, you can't get much more than like that straight 90. Swivel. Ankle tilt. Tilts inwards, no outward. Foot movement. It does have back and forth rock. And then some movement in the toe. Okay. Now looking at the waist. It does do a full 360. No need to do all that though. No back bend. Goes straight up. Or there is some ab crunch in there though. Which is cool. Because in my opinion, he is pretty dynamic. let's see what we got on camera here. All right, and for these, you can go one of two ways. You could either attach them to the backs of these, like you have them in alt mode, or they peg into the back, kind of on the shoulder blades there, all right, like so. And you can see him over his head and stuff like that, which is cool. All right, but for the blasters, they peg into his forearm, like so. And you can either leave them as this, or as is, or plug these additional armor pieces in. Boom. Boom. Okay. See how that looks. And it definitely beefs up his arms. Now, let's see. Okay. So that. Something basic. I wish that his arms went up further in terms of the parallel, but that's about what we got. And there we go. And if you want to beef up your shot a little bit, let me loosen this camera hinge. You can add some angle right there. Boom. All right. Let me see if I can't raise the camera a little bit. Nope. All right, how about that? I'm just trying to make it so you can see his head. All right, there we go. The missus is home, so the dogs are going crazy. But there we go. All right, now here's the alt mode, and in my opinion, this is where it falls short. Pretty much the only place that it falls short. It meets the criteria, like on paper. Like the alt mode has this, like the comic version had, but it's just a very different. It's like wider. It looks a little bit more short. This is because it shares a mold with, of course, Thunder Promenon and Promenon, which is their Machine Wars Optimus, as well as IDW Roller, as well as Coulter, which is their Tarn. So, yeah, I mean, yeah, sacrifices have to be made, but it could have been better, most definitely. This kind of reminds me of, like, it's going to sound weird, but like a Mega Man X version of what Thunderclash's alt mode should be. Just in terms of the shape and stuff like that. I can see it. But there we go. I mean, all the wheels roll and all of that good stuff, and there's not much more you can ask for in terms of functionality, but aesthetically, could have been better. Alright, and closing this out, again, it's Mastermind Creations, their reformatted line R-33 Collisus. So I've got him here next to some other IDW characters. So you've got Optus Pexis, Spartacus, or I think it's Spartan. These are Mastermind Creations Carnifex, Mastermind Creations DCEF, and Make Toys' Trash Talk. So character-wise, Swerve, Thunderclash, Optimus Prime, Impactor, Overlord, Thesaurus. Honestly, wanted to get them all in a shot because IDW is freaking cool. Lots of good fiction and stuff like that. I actually hate that they lost the license. People kind of said that the writing and stuff like that fell off during the later times, and I agree that the story ended on where it should. Both in terms of writing and story and stuff like that, kind of getting convoluted. But in terms of characters and things like that, and artwork, it is just something else. So stuff like Lost Light and all that, I definitely recommend it. But yeah, props to Mastermind Creations for giving IDW stuff a lot of love. And it's weird, particularly in Masterpiece scale, that we haven't gotten a lot of IDW stuff at all, besides like I think Generation Toy and G Creations, they're about the only ones doing it at that scale. But classics wise, I've heard that the reformatted line is not doing new molds anymore. So that's unfortunate because they put out some really good stuff. I think for me, everything post Coulter, which this shares a mold with or whatever, is really good, really simplified in terms of the transformations and things like that, as well as like aesthetically pleasing. A lot of greebles and stuff like that in the early reformatted stuff that I wasn't a big fan of, like the lining and stuff like that. But it's what it is, man. Again, Collisus, Thunderclash, I highly recommend them. This is a hard one to find now. I found out about this figure like 5 days ago. Looked on eBay. Luckily, the person who was selling it, I knew him, so he was able to take a good chunk off and make it like a realistic price or whatever. So I got him pretty quick. But in general, there aren't a lot of listing. I saw one on AliExpress for like 500 something bucks. It's a figure people buy and keep, and that should tell you, a lot about its personal value and its playability and stuff like that right there. Anyway, this has been another Kuma review. Let me know what you think of this one in the comments. Like, share, subscribe, and I will see you next time.